Hi students, here is the study guide video that I said I'd send to you guys. All right, thank you for tuning in. Question number one, we want to get x by itself, right? Our goal is always to get x by itself. We want to get rid of that minus 18. Inverse of subtracting 18 is adding 18. Add 18 to both sides. Those 18s cancel out. On the left-hand side, we're left with x is equal to negative 34 plus 18. That's going to be negative 16. X is equal to negative 16. All right, just a reminder, we can always check our work, right? So we're checking whether or not x is equal to negative 16. So we replace x with negative 16. So check our work. All right, so we get negative 16 minus 18 is equal to negative 34. So we don't know whether or not it's equal. This is our question mark. If it is equal, then we know it's true. So negative 16 minus 18, if we put into our calculator, that does actually equal 34. So negative 34 is equal to negative 34. So we know that's true. So we are just checking our work. Once again, some students might get this confused with thinking about infinitely many solutions. You would be correct, but for now, we're just checking our work. We're checking if x is equal to negative 16 works, not whether or not there's infinitely many solutions. So please don't get those confused. All right, moving on to question number two. All right, so if you guys remember from the lesson, a good technique is to figure out what we do first. Think about where x is. Then we want to get rid of everything else after that. So we subtract 7 from both sides. Subtract 7, subtract 7. We get 2x is equal to just some students are used to canceling that out. So cross out those 7s. 2x is equal to negative 8. Dividing both sides by 2, we get x is equal to negative 4, right? Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. X is equal to negative 4. All right, question number 3. So we have this negative x. Once again, box it in, get rid of the extra stuff. Negative x minus 17. Minus 17 for both sides, right? Opposite of doing that is, or opposite of adding 17 is subtracting 17. Those cancel out. We get negative x is equal to 3. Lastly, so some students may get confused when we get to here. Think of this as a negative 1. Divide both sides by negative 1. We get x is equal to negative 3. Right there. We can write it right there. X is equal to negative 3. All right, number 4. Getting a little bit tougher. We distribute this. We get negative 5, right? Distribute to both of these. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 2, that gives us positive 10. All right, and then we can think of distributing this negative 1. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Or an easier way to think about it, just flip the signs. This becomes a negative x. This becomes a negative 2. That's going to be equal to 50. All right, on the left-hand side, we combine like terms. Negative 5x minus x, that gives us negative 6x. And then 10 minus 2, that gives us positive 8 or plus 8 is equal to 50. All right, now once again, we want to get x by itself. X is over here. So we go ahead and subtract 8 from both sides. We get negative 6x is equal to 42. All right, dividing both sides by negative 6. We get x is equal to negative 7. x is equal to -7. Final answer. All right, question number 5. Once again, we can think of distributing this -1 or just distributing this negative. So flip the signs of each of these. 3x minus 7x minus 12 is equal to 2x minus 6. Right? We distributed that negative to each of these, and then we distribute this 2 to that x and that -3. All right, so on the left-hand side, we can combine like terms. 3x minus 7x, that's -4x minus 12 is equal to 2x minus 6. All right, so we have variables on both sides of the equation. Now we want to get it to be only on one side, so we can move this -4x to the other side. In order to do that, we need to do the opposite. Add 4x. Add 4x. That gives us -12. -12 on the left-hand side is equal to 2x plus 4x. That's 6x minus 6. All right, I'm just going to rewrite it up here so we don't get confused by our work. -12 is equal to 6x minus 6. Adding 6 to both sides, we get 6x, right? These cancel out, is equal to -6. Dividing both sides by 6. Oh, yeah, sorry. Dividing both sides by 6, we get x is equal to -1. That's our final answer. All right, question number 6. We go ahead and distribute that -7 to that x and that -3. We get -7x plus 21 is equal to 11 minus 7x. All right, so we have a -7x over here. We can add 7x to both sides. So on the left-hand side, these x's cancel out. Usually, you'd have to combine like terms over here. That doesn't happen. This actually also canceled out. So we're left with 21 is equal to 11. Sorry, 21 is equal to 11. This is never true, right? Never true. So we can say on the test, you have to write, though, no solution. Or on the test, you could write NS. No solution, excuse me. All right, question number 7. We have -6 minus 2x plus 7, so in parentheses, so we need to distribute that negative once again. Or we can just flip the signs of each of these. This is positive, let's make it negative. So -6 minus 2x minus 7 is equal to -2x minus 12 minus 1. All right, so -6 and -7, that comes out to be -13 minus 2x is equal to, well, -12 minus 1, that's also -13. All right, so we have x's on both sides of our equation. We want to get it to be on one side only. Add 2x to both sides. X's on the left cancel out. And then same thing on the right. Those cancel out as well too. We're left with -13 is equal to -13. This is always true. So infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions. And let me just write that over here. Or IMS. All right, question number 8 and 9 you can skip. That won't be on the test, so don't worry about that. All right, question number 10, proportions. Right, we know we can cross multiply. That's what we learned this past Friday. That and then that. 20 times x, that gives us 20x. And then 5 times 28, let's see, that'd be 140. Yeah. All right, dividing both sides by 20. We get x is equal to 7. All right, question number 11. Same thing, we want to cross multiply. 6 times x minus 7, that's going to be 6 times x minus 7. That's exactly what we do. Put it in parentheses. Is equal to 2 multiplied by 2x minus 5. So we cross multiplied that. Now we just have a problem with parentheses. Let's get rid of that parentheses by distributing. 6x minus 42 is equal to 4x minus 5. All right, so we can subtract 4x from both sides. On the right-hand side, those x's cancel out. On the left-hand side, we have 2x minus 42 is equal to negative 5. All right, adding 42 to both sides. Oh, that doesn't look good. Oops, I apologize. I am a little tired right now. 4x minus 10. There we go. That didn't look right. So that should give us negative 10. Okay, subtracting 42 from both sides. 42. I was thinking ahead to 52. We get 2x is equal to negative 52. Then dividing both sides by 2. Yeah, I am tired right now. Okay, I was supposed to bring down a negative 42. There we go. That helps us. So opposite of minusing 42 is adding 42 to both sides. We get 2x is equal to 32, positive 32. There we go. That looks much better. Dividing both sides by 2, we get x is equal to 16. Okay, question number 12. We can cross multiply once again. 5 multiplied by 3x plus 6 is equal to 6 times x minus 10. So making sure to put that in parentheses. Distributing, we get 15x plus 30 is equal to 6x minus 60. All right, so subtracting 6x from both sides. We get 9x plus 30 is equal to negative 60. All right, let me just try to get this out of the way. We'll sure work over here. 9x plus 30 is equal to negative 60. All right, subtracting 30 from both sides. We get 9x is equal to negative 70, or sorry, negative 90. Dividing both sides by 9, we get x is equal to negative 10. Final answer, x is equal to negative 10. All right, question number 13. Remember, with absolute value equations, we want to get the absolute equation by itself before we can write both equations. So we have this negative 4. All right, and then I know some of you are thinking maybe this is equal to a negative, maybe this is no solutions. But remember, first we need to get it by itself, and then if it's negative, then it's no solution. So dividing both sides by negative 4, we get the absolute value of 2x plus 6 is equal to positive 8. All right, so since it's positive 8, we proceed here, right? We proceed to write our two separate equations. Remember, we just write what's inside our absolute value, and then we change the 8 to a negative. Well, one is going to be positive, one is going to be negative. So let's write those two equations. We write 2x plus 6 is equal to 8. And then 2x plus 6 is equal to negative 8. All right, so subtracting 6 from both sides. Sorry, let's just work on one equation first. Subtracting 6 from both sides, we get 2x on the left-hand side is equal to 8 minus 6, that's 2. Dividing both sides by 2, we get x is equal to 1. All right, then our second equation, subtract 6 from both sides. That cancels out. We get 2x on the left-hand side is equal to, well, negative 8 minus 6. That gives us negative 14. And then dividing both sides by 2, we get x is equal to negative 7. All right, so our two answers, 1 and negative 7, or 1 comma negative 7. All right, question number 14. So our absolute value is already by itself. So all we have to do is just write down our two equations. First one is just going to be 6x minus 3. And then we take that positive 21, so is equal to 21. And then our next one is going to be 6x minus 3. And then rewrite the negative 21. All right, so adding 3 to both sides, we get 6x is equal to 24. Dividing 6 by both sides, we get x is equal to 4. All right, so that's our first solution. Now our second solution, add 3 to both sides. We get 6x on the left-hand side. All right, so that cancels out. And then we get is equal to negative 18. Dividing both sides by 6, we get x is equal to negative 3. All right, so our final answer, 4 comma negative 3. All right, question number 15. We want to get our absolute value by itself, right? So we want to get this by itself. So first, we have to subtract 3. We have to get rid of this. So we subtract 3 from both sides. We get 5 multiplied by the absolute value of 2x plus 8 is equal to 30. And then divide both sides by 5, right? Dividing by 5 cancels out that 5. And then divide by 5 over here. All right, so 2x plus 8, absolute value of 2x plus 8 is equal to 6. All right, now with that absolute value, right, we write it into two separate equations. 2x plus 8 is equal to 6. That's our first equation. And then our second equation is 2x plus 8 is equal to negative 6. All right, so first equation, let's try to solve this. We subtract 8 from both sides. We get 2x is equal to negative 2. And then dividing both sides by 2. Those cancel out. We get x is equal to negative 1. That's our first equation. Our next equation, 2x plus 8 is equal to negative 6. We subtract 8 from both sides. We get 2x is equal to negative 14. Dividing both sides by 2. We get x is equal to negative 7. All right, so x is equal to negative 1 and negative 7. All right, last problem, question number 16. So we want to get our absolute value by itself, so we divide both sides by negative 3. That negative 3 cancels out. On the left-hand side, we just have the absolute value of x minus 9 is equal to negative 7. All right, so when we have the absolute value by itself, if it's equal to a negative, remember in class, this is where, remember, absolute value represents distance. So from here, this is saying like the distance of something is negative 7 miles or negative 7 feet. Doesn't matter, whatever, which way you want to think of. But yeah, that's just weird, right? So we can't have a negative distance. So from here, we can just stop and say that there is no solution. No solution.